My name is Andy Shlon, and I have opened Andy's Deli since 1978. We've been here for like 33 years in the same location, in the heart of Five Points as well as the heart of USC. We're located like on Green Street, which is Green Street takes you to the Russell House, and the Russell House is located right in the center of the university. So we kind of like part of the university in a way, but we're not really part of the university in a way. My favorite thing I'm known with is like my dear, my friend, or my friend, my dear. It doesn't really matter which one it is. Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. Ha Happy St. Patrick's. Being like friend, my customers are not really my customers. They're my dears and my friends. You establish a little closeness to it.
Sometimes you'll be off guard, and it's like a regular setting in line at the movies or something like that, and somebody goes, "Hey there, my friend," and you're just totally taken aback, and then feel like you're at the shop again.
And they say, "Hello, my friend," usually to you, like at Lowe's, Home Depot, or the hardware stores.
Yeah, I'm usually work all the time. I come in like at 10 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock p.m. I work every day except Sundays. I got sick except a couple times. I had to have some operations. That's the only 2 times I was away from the store.
And they tell me, "Why don't you let them have a day off?" Heck, we try to give them days off.
No, the story.
He almost tells us off if we tell him to go home, It's pulling teeth to send him to the doctor if he's sick or anything.
A lot of people, they want to open places. I say, are you going to work in it yourself? And they say, no, not really. I'm going to work a couple days and so on. I said, keep your money in your pocket. If you don't want to do it right now, just give me that money. I'll keep it in my pocket. Yes, sir. Most of the time, we know exactly what the person orders. Sometimes we don't really know the names of the people. When we see them park their car, we know exactly what they want. By the time they get to the register, we have their sandwich ready.
And there's like, how do you remember stuff like that? Maybe we're just gifted, or maybe we're freaks. I don't know.
Always, every time you come here, usually you get the same exact thing as it was 20 or 30 years ago. One thing the old man does not like doing, no changes.
But it's still the same menu since then. All we change is the little dots on the side, on the corner of the menu, which is the prices. When we first started making the menu, they said, what's your favorite? And I said, the roast beef and the turkey. They said, okay, let's call it Andy Special. And then at that time, the Apollo 11 and Apollo 13. So we put the Apollo, a spaceman. And the spaceman has to get in a rocket to get to his destination. So we put the rocket. Also, it was Star Wars at that time. So R2-D2 and 3CPO. So the sauce.
And about making the sauce, it's just pretty much like, old recipe style. Really indefinite, but it's the way it feels.
Choose your chips. But sometimes the people don't pick up their chips. We say, pick up your chips. And they kind of like don't understand what we're talking about. And they say, oh, you didn't give me the chips. And so we say, it's okay, take 2 now. It's a French creamy cheesecake. It is refreshing. It's not like New York cheesecake heavy. Oh, this ice, like sometimes they come for miles to get the ice. We charge $0.25 for the cup of ice. But once we know they just wanted the ice, we got like buckets, and I'll just fill it and give it to them. But they still buy the cup of ice. Our drinks are kind of like a little bit stronger than the regular Coke in the fountain. So with the combination of the ice and the drinks, it's pretty good. So they get addicted to the Cokes. And I had people, they come in. They might drive 5 miles just to get a Coke with the ice.
He even makes great pizzas.
It's not I'm going to serve pizza, but I like pizza. I like it like a certain way. So every once in a while, I make me a little pizza, the little pita bread. But I don't have an oven, so I got a little toaster oven that I can cook my pizza. But I make some mean pizza. One day I'll make you a pizza.
How much do you eat the sandwiches?
I eat a lot. Lunchtime, I eat pretty good bit. I can eat like 2 big sandwiches easy.
I'll tell you what I really like, but I don't. He always go, oh, bologna, and he does not want me to have bologna. He goes, get something else. Get roast beef.
She's the boss of the house. He's the boss of here.
Andy and I first met in 1969, and Andy was working down at Groucho's Delicatessen.
They were customers. One of the guys that I worked with, he knew my wife from high school. So he said, oh, we give you a ride back. We gave him a ride back, and then that's how I met my wife.
He had a car, too. Realize I didn't have that. No, that didn't have anything to do. He just was a nice guy. We partied a lot, danced. It will be 41 years.
That's amazing.
I know. It's a lot of years, isn't it? I know last night he goes, our anniversary's going to be soon. I said, yes, and so is St. Patrick's Day.
I was born in March 28th, 1977, and I think they opened in August 1978, so like a year.
And that was the first one. It took me another 6.5 years to have the second one. I like to space them. My son tells me, Mom, you spaced us too far apart. But now I think he sees how wise I was.
It was like every morning he'd crank up his big old blue Chevy and give me a ride to school in it. After that, he'd come straight to work, and then usually wouldn't see him till about 9 and stuff. But on Saturdays, we sit and watch cartoons and all that. Then he'd roll on to work, and I'd be like, man, when I grow up, I want to grow up and be a deli worker like Dad.
I couldn't do anything right. Couldn't sweep right, couldn't do anything. I had to learn from the old man everything the way he likes to do it.
Like they were brought up on how to serve the public. It's, I guess, hereditary. It's in the genes. And that's how I started when I used to come down with my dad. I'll sit there and I talk to the people. And the same thing, my children. And now my grandchild, like he's the same way.
I think my nephew's going to be pretty good in this field as well. He sits up here on this counter right behind me, and like if the customer doesn't know what they want to eat, want to order, he say, "Come on down here, my friend. Order you Andy's special." Doesn't really have the S down yet, but it's cute. It works.
I think so too. Yes. I got like 2 registers, but it's not. The other one does not really work. So I put him to work on the other register. He's learning the tricks of the trade, he say, thank you, I say, thank you, my friend. Then he would say, thank you, my friend, thank you, my dear. And then after he signs it, you give him his copy. Thank you.
All right.
Now you say, thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
He likes to come to work. He has a little hat and a little apron. There's a little sink about 3 foot tall or whatever behind the counter where we wash our hands. He loves that sink, and he goes back there and he washes his hands and washes his hands and washes his hands when he's here. That's about it. And eats Cheetos.
And he's getting a lot of attention, good attention, since he's had the 2 grandchildren for Dad just recently. I wouldn't wish that kind of thing on myself, and more power to him for being able to do it, Most definitely.
I have like 3 generations. The first generation, like they went to school and they went home, they got married, they have children, and their children will be coming back. And it's just amazing to see the mother through her daughter when she was younger at that time, even though after 15, 20 years, coming around and brings up good memories. And the walls can tell all about it. It's amazing. Sometimes people give me pictures, they go as far as 75, 76, different kinds. And a lot of awards. The best delis, some awards for helping the city of Columbia, and something from the school. They asked me if I could get them some bags for Easter. That was, I want to say, about 29, 30 years ago. And every once in a while, they say, this is me, when I was a little guy.
As I said, when I dated him, you asked me what made him attractive to me. I used to say, he will be the type, you marry him and you come home one night and you have no television. and he has given it away to somebody who didn't have one. And that's the truth.
If he has something of his own personal food that he's going to eat in the afternoons or whatever, and somebody wants something like that, he'll give it up for them too.
Whatever this gift is you speak of, I think it's something that we just glean from Dad just by being next to him. It's almost like osmosis, you know? It can't really be explained that well, but it just rubs off so easily, or it seems that way. And then everybody who comes through here, it seems like they have the same effect on them.
I mean, he works, he's friendly, he makes a friend, he listens to that friend, and I've seen people come up and just tell him everything. Just somebody you can talk to.
In the old days, right on the counter, I used to put the bad checks. It used to be like the hole of shame. But then I took those off and I started putting like pictures, little baby pictures when they're little and so on. And that's kind of like the second generation at that time. And they still come in with the old pictures when they were little guys and little girls and boys. And sometimes big boys and girls. They bring their children, and the children bring their own children too. And they say, this is me right there. The other day, we had a family, you know, like the mother went to school over here, and then she had her daughter and her children. And then the children, also they had their children. It was very nice to see them all together at this time. Sometimes when I think about it, I get like teary eyes.
I mean, it's amazing. You know?
It's pretty good. We had a lot of personalities come in. One time we had Sidney Porte. He was going down the street and then he almost passed the sign. And he came back up and got in line and he bought 2 packs of certs. And I was lucky enough to shake his hand at the same time, but I had to charge him.